Hello and welcome to the Joking Dolphin Gaming Podcast, where we discuss everything regarding the world of video games. I'm Mark, and as always, I'm joined by Matthew
Hello.
and Nathan.
Hi, and welcome to the 6th episode.
Yes, episode 6. I can't believe we've been going this long. Well,
Yeah.
technically 7, actually. But officially
technically.
6.
Because we had the spoiler special for
Yes.
The Last of Us Part 2, so that was fun.
Mhm.
But we're nearly on the average time it takes for a podcast to fail. So
Excellent.
yeah, so if we can get to episode 7 and then 8, then we're past the point of no return, maybe.
That's it. After we get past that, we have to carry on forever then.
Yeah, that's
It's
it.
kind of like, that's legality, isn't it? That's the law.
Mhm. So we'll be doing this till we die.
Okay, so news. So I think there's a bit of an obvious one that we start off with. And that was Xbox Games' showcase.
Yeah, showed us lots of the games.
Yes. But
Many games, not much gameplay.
true, but they did start with some gameplay for a particular game.
No,
And that was for Halo Infinite. Now this seemed to get quite a bit of criticism online from what I saw. Although when I was watching it, I thought it looked alright, but I don't know. Maybe I weren't looking for the right things.
Yeah, I'd echo the same thing. I enjoyed it. Particularly, I enjoyed. Do you know how they put the suit together? I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this looks really nice. It just looked really satisfying to watch. Just all the pieces get like forged and like put together to make Master Chief's suit. So that was nice. I can understand why some people might have been a little bit annoyed because some of the gameplay did look a bit current gen. But I liked it. I mean, it looked really fun. It reminded me of the Halo of old in terms of just the way it seemed to feel, like the landscapes. So I, for one, I'm really looking forward to it. And by the graphics side, I don't know what everyone's complaining about.
Yeah, there was some comments about resolution as well. I thought it looked pretty smooth, but maybe my eyes. Well, I wear glasses for a reason, so maybe I couldn't see it properly.
I
There
think.
seems to be a lot. Oh, go on.
Oh, what I was going to say. I think what people were trying to make an argument on is that for a supposed next gen game, it still looks kind of current gen. Which I was like, well. I mean, it looks like it looks like they're going to take Halo into like an open world-esque kind of direction, which looks pretty cool. I liked the way you brought up the map, and it looked like you could tackle different objectives how you kind of wanted. But it's still got that Halo feel, I thought. Anyway, when I looked at it, like the music was Spawn. You can't go wrong with Halo music. The gameplay looked Halo-y, you know.
It's Halo, yeah.
You know, it was cool to see one of the brutes grab one of the grunts and try and lob him like a grenade. And seeing some of the grunts as well, like in previous games, you've had like suicide grunts, you know, they hold the plasma grenade and run at you, and now you got them just absolutely just chucking them at you. Like, what the hell? What is that about?
Yeah, that's new.
I don't know why people complain from my side.
They did say that this is going to be the last Halo game for the foreseeable future, so it's something that I think they are definitely going to build on. Maybe like other games, so maybe they'll have it like a Game Pass that people can purchase, and then they'll just expand on it from there.
Oh yeah, I think I read that this could be like 343's Destiny in a way, that they'll just keep on building onto it now.
Oh dear.
I don't know whether that, you know, imbues confidence, if they can do that. If they could expand it single player wise and not just a focus on multiplayer, I'd be kind of happy. But
yeah.
We'll see once we know more.
I can't remember from any of the previous Halo games. Was there a grapple gun?
No,
No,
I think that's new.
this was the first time. Yeah, that was new.
That looks like a really good addition to traverse the terrain and get into places that you wouldn't normally be able to get to. Yeah,
very just cause.
Yes, it was. I did notice that, as well as the gunfight, like half of it seems to be just elbowing people. I don't know what that's all about, but it seems to be
It's
like
the
the same
melee.
animation constantly.
It's the
So
melee.
people's
It's,
elbows.
Surely they can do
it's
a bit
the
better.
easiest way of getting rid of the Covenant. Just elbow your way through.
Yeah, but they should have like different animations. Surely it's just constantly.
No,
It's
just
that,
one.
that constantly.
That's what you need.
For
Do
half
the
of the
chicken
gameplay.
dance. Poo, poo.
That was my main criticism of it. Just a lot of elbows.
Well, Halo's always kind of had that. If you had like an assault weapon or something, the melee was always kind of you going
Just
with the elbow, unless you had like the pistol, in which case then he like spins going around and butts you with the handle. But that's all Halo's melee has always been. It wasn't until I think it was Reach when you could do you could do like assassinations from behind. So if you held the melee button, it would do like a special kind of assassination move. But that's all the melee has ever been in Halo, unless you had the sword.
And they mentioned it was several times larger than the last two games combined. So pretty big then. Although I guess this lends into that whole open world thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I hope so. I've
It's
not
called
played
Halo
4 or 5.
Infinite for a reason.
It just goes on forever.
Just goes forever.
There's no ending
Halo's
to it.
Minecraft, isn't it?
Yeah.
Procedurally created all the time.
Yes, that was my takeaway from Halo Infinite anyway.
Looking forward to it.
Any other games that interested people?
State of Decay 3. Now, I've never played any of the other State of Decay games, but this trailer just grasped me. The first bit they did, because there's like this lady around the campsite, and then she sees something glaring at her in the darkness, and then she lets out this piercing scream. I was like, oh wow, this is scary. And then it cuts to her wandering through this this snow-capped forest, and the wolf or whatever creature was looking at her earlier has been killed, and it turns out that the wolf's been munched on by this zombie deer thing.
Yeah.
And that was about it. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't much to show. I mean, it looked really nice, like the CG and all the graphics side looked really good. But yeah, maybe it'd be my entry into State of Decay because I've not played any of the other games, as I've said previously. But yeah, zombie deer snacking on wolves. Yeah, I'm all for that.
I've not played any of them either.
What did you think of it?
It didn't interest me.
It's zombies. It doesn't interest Mark. Come on.
Or maybe because it just didn't show any gameplay really. So
Yeah.
I don't. And as I say, I've never played any of the previous ones, so I don't really know what kind of games they are.
I mean, you got to think it's just very early in development at this stage because they've just got nothing to show, have they? Bar the trailer. But yeah, that was one of them that I will be interested in when it does come out. We got a little trailer for Forza Motorsport as well.
It looked pretty.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I think it's the same with Gran Turismo. It just looks nice car game.
Yeah. I mean, if you're into your cars and all that, I'm no doubt these are brilliant. But if you're not into your cars, then they don't really offer that much, do they?
No. Like, I don't want to be told how to race. That's why I don't like the arrows telling me when to slow down. I like my arcade races.
I want to go off road.
Yeah.
Let me ride through the stands.
Let me run over all the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, bit of World Rally Championships, smashing through barriers. Yeah.
There was one game that stood out for me, and that was Tell Me Why.
Yeah.
Now, as soon as I saw this, I instantly thought this looks like Life is Strange, and it turns out it was Donut Entertainment who
it's actually made by
Life
the
is
same
Strange.
people.
Yeah. So it seems like a story about a brother and sister, and their mother did something bad. It seems to suggest.
Go on, sorry.
No, okay.
Well, I was going to suggest that I've actually read up upon this when it was actually first shown.
Okay.
It was first shown, I think, last year sometime. It's a story about two sisters, but one of them transitions into a male. So it's actually going to be like the first transgender protagonist. It's going to be interesting to see how they pull that off.
Okay. Oh, so I take it the mother didn't take too kindly to that.
Well, we don't know. That could be the story.
Yeah,
It's just play it to find out.
I can only base it on what I saw in the trailer.
It
looks like the mother didn't like something.
No, it'll be interesting to see what.
You mentioned something about they see visions when they get emotional. Unless I'd misheard that.
Yeah. It looks like they kind of see, not necessarily visions, maybe like sort of parts
Just
of the
memories
past.
of the past. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
But,
They said that Chapter 1 is available on the 27th of August.
Yeah. So not far away at all. About
only
a month
No,
and a
I'd
day.
be
So
interested to try it.
I thought it just looked like a Telltale game to me. And when it came out with that part Chapter 1 is going to be available on the 27th of August, I'm like, yeah, it probably is.
Have you
It
played
was the
Life
same
Stream?
for the. Yeah.
I've not played it yet, no.
Well, neither of you have. Have you not?
Matt has.
No, I haven't. I'd
Oh,
like
what?
to. I've got them, but it's getting around to the battle.
The first one destroyed me emotionally,
Really?
and I will never play that again.
Oh, I can't wait to play it.
Oh yeah, I'm going to have to play it now. Any game that destroys
how long
Margaret.
is it?
It's got 5 chapters, I think. I see each one's
It'll
about.
be like a few hours, won't they? Each chapter.
Each one's about between, let's say, about an hour and a half and 2 hours.
Okay.
Something
Same as
like
the
10
Telltale
hours in
game.
total. Something like that. Yeah. It's very good, but I can't play it again because it destroyed me. Grounded.
Nope.
Right.
Yeah, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids with
Yep.
building.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I thought.
Do you know what?
I'm not
There were a
playing
couple of there were a couple of jokes in this one that I really liked. If you're waiting for the biggest game of the year, wait for
That was-
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, that was
that was pretty good.
little plug-in.
Yeah. I like the bit where you could feed your friend to the spiders. That was pretty cool as well. But I mean, it looked quite interesting. Do you know? Well, basically, you shrunk down, aren't you? And you got to try and survive the world and fight ladybirds and spiders and goodness knows what else.
I thought
And-
ladybirds were nice.
Are they?
I don't want to fight a ladybird.
Well, you've got to. Hey, did you ever see
Survival.
them in A Bug's Life? They're absolute savages.
I've seen it, but I can't remember it.
I can't remember it.
So this is like a 4-player co-op survival game. That's what I see. But as you say, yeah. So basically, you're just fighting bugs. I'm not quite sure what the end game is. Are you
Survival.
Yeah, but are you trying to return to being a normal size? Is there actually a plot, or is it just?
Probably not.
Well, it showed a lot of gameplay, but not a lot of behind the story. So I suppose we'll find out.
It reminds me about the single-player Fortnite, where it was all about building forts and stuff. Do you remember when they first showed Fortnite off, and it absolutely was not what it is today, should I say?
Oh yeah, there's the original Fortnite. Yeah,
The original Fortnite
game.
where you're actually building forts. You had a daytime, look for resources, build your fort. Nighttime, can survive waves of zombies and stuff.
It's just the battle royale section just became a thing of its own, didn't it? Everyone forgot about the actual original game.
They really wronged the people who bought into the single player game and actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. That's actually going to be out on the 28th of July on the Xbox Game Preview. So,
in 2 days.
Yeah.
Well,
so you get the opportunity
at
to
time of recording.
Time of recording.
Yeah. So
probably
maybe
out.
we should give it a go. Yeah.
Nope.
Promise I won't feed you to the spiders.
No, I ain't playing it. No, you're not gonna make me.
Why do you not like it? What's
anything with spiders? No.
Oh right, okay. So you're not playing Skyrim then?
This is why I've not got very far in Skyrim. No.
What happened when you watched Harry Potter?
Skyrim
Did you hide
VR.
behind the sofa? Yeah.
I couldn't because I was in the cinemas when I watched it.
You feel like spiders, but you like Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's they don't show up very often. Just once when he has his origin story.
True. Anyway, Obsidian. So they showed off their new RPG. Now, I think Obsidian as a studio are quite cool. I mean, the Outer Worlds. I mean, I've got the Outer Worlds. I've not played it, but it really looks like something that I'd really get into.
Don't forget their DLC they revealed for that as well.
Yes, Perils. What's it called?
Peril on Gorgon.
But as I say, I've not even played the actual game yet, so
No.
I'm not going to get involved in that yet. But and obviously they did. Was it New Vegas? Did as well.
Yeah, so they did Fallout New Vegas,
Yeah,
which
so
I
that was
absolutely
obviously
loved.
that was acclaimed very well.
Mm.
So I was kind of looking forward to what they were going to do here, and it disappointed me, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it from what they showed to me, it just seemed like some generic fantasy sword RPG, and I'm just like, nah, you could have done better there.
Oh, the Avowed, was it?
Yes, Avowed, yes.
Yeah, I saw online a lot of people saying this is going to be like Obsidian's Skyrim.
Yeah.
Which I would like for the I suppose the reputation that Obsidian have for making really, complex, deep stories within their RPGs. Having that, but in like a Skyrim world, just ticks a lot of boxes for me. Unless it's just spiders, and then no.
It's all about the spiders.
It's all about spiders, yeah.
I mean, I think once they start showing gameplay, yeah, I might be interested. But initially, that trailer just did nothing for me, which was a shame.
Yeah, I think again, it's one of those. The CGI can only do so much. Like, you need to kind of see gameplay to get a proper sense of like, all right, this is where you're going with this game.
Because Obsidian are now owned by Xbox, aren't they? So
yes, they are one of the game studios.
So I was hoping this would be like one of the studios which would like pull me towards, there's a reason to get an Xbox, and unfortunately this didn't do it for me.
Yeah, you'd think like I think everyone's kind of said if Obsidian made a game but had proper backing and like a proper time to really create something, they could do something quite special. But at the moment, I'd need to see more. It looks okay, but again, it's
too early to tell, isn't it? All we've seen is a short trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, it is nice to know that like they're making multiple games, so they're doing this and they're doing Grounded. They're still working on the Outer Worlds, which is always good news to know that a studio's allowed to expand to be able to make more of what they want. So
next game I've got is As Dusk Falls.
Yeah, this I saw the the developers talk about it before, and I thought, oh, this sounds really interesting. And then when I saw the trailer, I'm like, what the hell is this? It just looks like the most generic piece of crap I've ever seen. Honestly, I didn't have any.
Generic, did you?
Yeah,
generic.
Yeah,
Wow.
Just like generic family move somewhere, something bad happens. I didn't quite know what to make of it. It just looked really bland.
Wow.
Hot take there from Nathan.
Yeah.
So this is sort of like an interactive drama, from what I got.
Yeah, it said it was.
Had a very unique art style.
That's what I got from it. I thought out of all the games that were actually shown at Xbox, this was probably the most unique game to be shown.
I did think that, but I thought, is that just going to be the trailer that's going to be that art style, or is the game going to be like that as well? Because it's as if it's like a collage that something's been cut out and then sucked down, kind of, but in movement. Which, I mean, it's interesting.
So basically, the plot it says that it will explore the fates of two families and spans 3 decades of secrets.
Yeah, because
Whatever that means.
Yeah, well, they had that little girl who ends up like growing up and like meets one of the members of the other family, didn't they, at the end? So there's clearly some sort of mystery that connection, like a mystery between both families that you'll have to solve throughout the game. But I thought it looked interesting. I like to see how the gameplay is.
It depends if that is the gameplay, really. I think it'd be risky to show that as if that's just cutscene. That's because I don't know what I'm trying to say here. That suggests to me that is the gameplay, that sort of style. I don't think that's. Just I don't know why. I don't know why you'd have that sort of art style as a cutscene and the gameplay would be different.
Oh no,
if that makes any sense. I think that is the gameplay. That's what the game will look like as you're playing. That's what I think.
But yeah, I probably should have expanded on it, being more of like, is it going to be similar to like a Telltale game where you're just going through picking options
Yeah,
for the
yeah, yeah.
characters, or would there be more of a kind of a free form? You'll be able to have control, and it could like maybe the characters move like that on like a 2D into like on a 3D plane. I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, possible. I think if if the gameplay does move in that way, though, that's going to be jarring for some players.
Well, I was trying to think like what kind of gameplay would it be? And I mean, it is an interactive drama, so it's probably going to be more akin to like Telltale and
Multiple choices. Basically.
yeah, and Life is Strange. But we'll see. It definitely caught my attention.
And then we had The Medium. Now, wasn't this showed at the Xbox event?
In May, weren't it?
I think it was.
When it was last year.
I think that was one where everything was like going into dust.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Silent Hill-esque.
So this had a really intriguing concept as part of it, like dual reality gameplay. So it was like you were controlling one character in two situations. But then it got a bit scary, so then I think I'll nip out this one.
And then I turned it off.
Yeah. It's a real shame when you see a game and you think, oh yeah, that was cool. That concept
and then
really
the
cool.
Scary bit
and then the
on.
scary happens. It's like, oh no.
Right, I'm going to say something now. It's going to be quite dark. So
what's new?
Oh, ouch.
My favorite bit of the trailer was when that skin got cut with the knife, and it just looked really satisfying.
I don't remember that bit. But
there's like a wall of skin that had been stitched together, and it gets cut down. And yeah, anyway.
You're a psycho. What were your thoughts on this anyway?
It looks pretty good. I don't know if I'll play it.
Yeah, it's a bit where she had him around the corner and that beast thing walked past. And that's the bit where I just went, no, not for me, I'm afraid.
I keep on trying to get into horror games, but it gets to a certain point where like the tension and just like the fear gets a bit too much.
I think The Last of Us is by top level closest to horror I'll get. I think that's it. I won't go beyond that.
Yeah.
So Crossfire X. Now I think we've seen this one before as well.
I think that was at the Game Awards last year. I think.
Now this was the one.
Oh no, it was earlier.
This is the one that came out to me as being like the most generic thing I think I've ever seen.
Funnily enough, Mark, the what I wrote down for this game is generic shooting action game.
Yeah.
That's it.
It
just looked.
Yeah. It was like Black Ops. That's the thoughts I just instantly came with.
Yeah, the only thing that I can possibly say of this is that it is made. The single player portion of the game is being made by Remedy, so the guys who did it was like Alan Wake and Control. So I mean, for them to get their hands on it, they could do something interesting, but like at the moment it's just shooty pew pew and
explosions, cars,
and some conspiracy that the government has done probably. I don't know. Yay.
Yeah, not one for me.
No one for you.
One game that I really like the look of is Tetris Connected. I know you'll probably like this, Mark.
Oh, Tetris Effect Connected.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Basically, you've got a multiplayer option where you all control the same like Tetris grid, and you can help each other get lines. So there's some like true multiplayer that comes into it, and you've got to work together to try and get the Tetris and last as long as you can. So that looked really interesting. I'd really be against playing like that because I don't want to let people down because I'm not very good at Tetris. But it did look quite interesting and a bit of a different take on a game that we've seen 1,000 times. So yeah, that looked good. Another game that I like the look of is Psychonauts 2.
Oh yeah.
What did you guys think? Because that had the trailer with Jack Black in it.
Yeah, I quite liked his song in it.
Yeah, it was quite nice.
I've not played the first one, but I know this is made by Tim Schafer.
Yeah,
And
Double
he was
Fine.
and Double Fine, and he was behind Grim Fandango, which I love.
Yeah.
And it also Peter McConnell turned up in that trailer, so it looks like he's doing the music. Who did the music for Grim Fandango? And I love that. So that's a win-win for me.
I'm very surprised he's never played the first game. I thought it'd be like right up your street.
No, I mean I haven't. But what platforms did it come out for? I didn't.
Well, they did. Didn't they do like a remastered for Psychonauts?
I don't know. I might have to look into it because.
What did it come out on? I would imagine it probably came out around the PS2. I feel like it's a PS2 game, maybe. I might have to look it up.
Well, it's been a while, hasn't it?
I think they have re-released it as a remaster, so I think you can get on PS4 and Xbox One.
Because did Double Fine remaster it then? Because they're the ones obviously who did the Grim Fandango remaster. Because they got it from because LucasArts originally did Grim Fandango, and then he got the license for it.
Psychonauts.
I mean, from what I saw,
Go
on. It looked really well. It looked like you'd take an LSD without the LSD. It just looked so trippy. Even from the start, when you're like this little creature and you've got this jar with this brain in it, and like green gunge, and then you just drop a door in and then enter someone's brain, it's like, wow, this just looks insane. And then from there, it just showed you all like the different colours and places you could go. And to me, it looked like a platforming beat 'em up game. But I've not played the first one, so I don't really know what to compare it to. But
yeah.
Right, so I got that wrong. They never remastered it, but it is on PS4.
Oh, is it? Okay. Is it originally on PS4?
No, it came out in 2005, but
so they just re-released it.
Yeah, okay. They've not remastered it, but that's I'll just link to you.
I'll have to look into that then.
Oh, cool.
So
something else for the backlog.
Yeah, yes, another. Did any other games stand out for anyone? Oh, we've been through a while. I don't know.
I enjoyed the Fable trailer.
I'm looking forward to Fable.
Yeah, because they came on, didn't they, and said the Game Pass will play all of the games that you've seen that they outlined, which is great for Game Pass holders. And then they said they've got one more thing to show, and then they had this Fable trailer. I mean, there wasn't much to it. There was just this fairy flying around the world. It looked really free and fun. And then eventually the fairy gets eaten by this toad, which was quite funny. But yeah, apart from that, there's not much else. But well, that's probably going to be a couple of years away, I'd imagine, at least. Yeah. But I enjoyed playing Fable, like the first one. I've not played any of the others, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I think Fable 2 is probably my favourite out of all the Fable games that I've played. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think they've got the humour of the previous Fable games down quite well, just with showing that Toad eating the fairy. So, but I'll look forward to see what they can show off further down the line.
Cool. So next, over the last couple of weeks, Nintendo had a Direct Mini. It was a partner showcase. Now, I know me and you have watched it, Matt. I don't know about you, Mark.
No, I haven't.
What were your main takeaways and what did you enjoy most about it, Matt? Because I know you probably enjoyed more than I did.
I mean, they didn't show a whole lot, but the few things they showed off, I'm really looking forward to. Like, and the first thing that they showed off was the cadence of Hyrule. The sort of like the joint mismatch of I think it's called Cryptonauts of
Crypt of the Necro Dancer featuring Legend of Zelda. Like the longest name ever.
Yeah. So it's like they're gonna be adding a lot more to the game. Like I think it's like a season pass they're doing, so it's 3 DLCs.
So there was a character pack for the first pack, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Then for the second, there was a melody pack with like new songs and remixes. And then the third pack was new story content. The story content was called Symphony of the Mask. And they're all actually available now. So that's cool. And then they're also, they're available now. Also, they're going to have they're going to be relaunching the game, including all the DLC, on October the 23rd. So if you want it all in one package, then that's going to be coming soon. So
yeah, I think I'll wait then. So I've not actually got the game originally, but I always piqued my interest in this kind of. It's like a rhythm beat 'em up where like you got to time your movements to the song that's playing.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting way of doing a game. So.
My favorite game that we saw, funnily enough, was WWE 2K Battlegrounds. Now this looked really fun to me. Like I never thought I'd say it before ever. Like my favorite game in like a showcase is going to be a wrestling game, but it just looked great. I mean, the characters look like power pods. Let's face it, like little muscular bodies with big heads. But the hits look really satisfying, and you can like flip people up about 10 meters into the air. People have got like flaming hands, and they punch each other. You can hit people with bikes. That were cool. Well, oh yeah, one person got eaten by a crocodile in the in the trailer, so that was pretty good. Well, trailer like people, the showing of the game. And that's going to be out on the 28th of September, so not too far away on that one.
No, not too far.
But yeah, for me, that was my favourite one.
As your favourite?
Yeah.
Probably my favourite was probably the last two games that got shown off.
Oh, the Shin Megami Tensei 3 remake and the release. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I like my Japanese role-playing games. I didn't get to play I didn't get to play number 3 when it first came out, unfortunately. But everything that I saw of it just like screamed like I should be playing this.
Yeah.
And it's actually the series that I think Persona actually spins off from. So anything Persona related, like I need to start playing and stuff because they're massively highly rated games. So just this one, knowing that it's coming to Switch is cool. And then they're creating a new one. I don't know if it's just for the Switch. I'm not sure.
I don't think they said if it was exclusive or not, but yeah, they announced Shin Megami Tensei 5, and that's going to be coming at some point in 2021. So yeah, something else to look forward to there.
Yep, something else for the Switch. Switch is still going pretty strongly, so.
Just fingers crossed for having a Switch Pro out next year. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Do we have any thoughts on Rogue Company at all? Another generic shooty.
Yeah, I didn't really think much to it. It's like just a third-person shooter. It's going to be cross-platform, so you can play it with friends on PS4, Xbox One, and probably PS5 and Xbox Series X. I mean, it looks very arcadey. One good thing. One thing that was interesting is that they had the motion-controlled shooting, so that might be quite interesting if they can incorporate the Joy-Cons properly in there.
Oh, similar to like Splatoon.
I don't know how it's going to work, but they did mention motion control shooting.
Fair enough. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
so that's something to look forward to. I mean, if there's a demo for it, I'll more than happily give it a go.
Well, I think is it free to play? I think it might be free to play. I'm not sure. I'd have to read up.
Cool.
Right. Well, did you have any other thoughts on the mini direct or?
Nope, that was about it.
Cool.
Love the wrestling game. And that's me.
Right. Have we got any other news outside these two events that happened, lads? Or...
Yes. Rockstar.
Ooh.
Eventually they decided to announce that they're having some updates. Because over the previous couple of weeks, Red Dead players have been dressing themselves up as clowns in protest of the fact that there's been no updates for like 7 months. Suddenly Rockstar came out saying there's going to be a new Frontier Pursuit role. That revolves around naturalism. And there's going to be a new Outlaw Pass, the third Outlaw Pass, and that comes out on July 28th. So that's this coming Tuesday. So it'll probably be out by the time this pod goes out. So
Probably.
Everyone can finally be happy. Yeah. But they also announced, not just. Oh, actually, things. Hang on. It says here. Their exact wording was new extensions and augmentations to an existing Red Dead Online role. So I was just thinking about the other roles. So you've got Moonshiner, Collector, Bounty Hunter, and
Trader.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just trying to work out which one it might be. I think it could possibly be Collector.
I'm thinking it's Collector, if only because of how easy it is to rank up if you literally just focus on that one role.
Yes.
Is far too easy to get. Like
no, it's not far too easy, Matthew. It takes a lot of time. Trust me, it takes a lot of time.
But you know,
don't give them ideas.
Once you get the metal detector and you just go for the coins exclusively. Oh no, sorry, because you need the collector and the
Yeah, but you gotta find the coins.
The shovel as well, don't you?
Yes.
But I mean, you say it, you gotta find them. But I mean, there might be a certain.
I've literally spent an entire day just like searching for the things. It takes a lot of effort to try and rank up.
If you use a certain website.
Yeah, but imagine if that didn't exist.
Yeah, but it does.
no, but imagine if it didn't. That's only because the community.
Oh yeah, well yeah. If the website didn't exist, then yeah, they would be very difficult.
If you didn't have any of those outside influences from people, then how on earth would you ever do anything for Collector? You'd never get any sets ever, would you?
Well, you get the
Yeah, but the maps, as if the maps things are going to help you when you get like 3 options. It's all random stuff. It's not. It's like these are the things you're missing. It's just like 3 random stuff. So you could end up just getting duplicates all the time. You'd never ever get a set.
No, that's true.
Whereas things like the Trader and Bounty Hunter Moonshine, it's like they're just like individual tasks that you can do, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the other, go on.
So how would you change the collector though? Like,
I just think it means there'll be just be a new thing to find. In my mind, I was thinking that because this mentions, well, I don't know. You know how in the single player there's dinosaur bones.
Yeah.
I just thought maybe that should be something they could introduce.
That'd be cool.
That you find in, so you become like sort of like archaeologist. No, not archaeologist, paleontologist. Look at dinosaur stuff. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. But watch it not be Collector, they change it. Watch it be one of the other ones.
Well, I've not done any of the moonshine stuff, so I'm not sure, like, what entails with it. Like, how do you?
Basically, you just you brew. Well, so you basically brew in the basement of your moonshiner. Then you can either make like a basic moonshine, and then you sell it at a cheaper price, or then you can flavour it. But you have to go out and get like special herbs and things to put it in it. And then there's like specific buyers that are available at certain times.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So if you're selling it at the right time, you'll get the high price, depending on which sellers are available.
So that and then it becomes similar to like Trader, where you have to make your way to the bar and stuff. But I think with Moonshiners, if I recall, there's certain points where you end up getting like ambushed or something, and you have to like
you have to. There's like I forgot what they're called now.
There's like a
But
rival gang, isn't there, or something like that?
basically, there's like law who like will stop you like at a crossroads and just inspect your wagon.
Oh, the FBI.
Yeah, they're looking for like illicit moonshine, and then if they spot it, then they'll just start shooting you. But yeah, but also it's difficult to move your moonshine without damaging it. It's like you're moving 20 bottles in your moonshine, and if you damage one bottle, it takes like a third of the price off. And it's just like, don't know how that works.
It doesn't seem like a very viable business to me. I'd get out of the moonshine.
I don't. I ranked up to the top because each roll goes up to like rank 20, I think it is. I reached that and I've just never sold any more moonshine ever because I just found it a right hassle, to be honest. It's just pointless. But I like the moonshine shag because you get the band.
Oh yeah, that's
downstairs.
Fun. No, that is fun.
Speaking of the band though, I did notice on that update it said we've responded to community feedback and will be introducing musical instruments into Red Dead Online.
Oh wow! No, but you can't own them
in the band. So you
right.
can play in the band, but this to me suggests maybe in free room we'll have musical instruments.
Oh, I love that.
Playing your guitar.
Just whip out a drum set.
Yeah, well, we'll see what that is. But, I mean, of all things to be requested by the community, I find that an odd one. But okay.
I mean,
But
it's just a little bit more immersion, isn't it? Like if you're sitting around playing.
Sit around on a campfire.
Like with a harmonica or something.
I want more like saloon stuff.
I want one of them. I can't remember what they're called now, but you hear them being played about on game.
No, didgeridoo, is it?
Oh, the things when you it's just like a piece of wire or something that you go boom, boom, boom. I don't know what they're called. They're pretty cool. But not only Red Dead.
That soundbite. It's going to be amazing.
But not only Red Dead, they did mention an update for GTA Online.
They're going to be adding new heists, aren't they?
Yes, it says.
One of the stuff.
I quote. It says the biggest ever update for GTA Online, and it involves heists in a new location.
Interesting.
New location.
Can we have heists in Red Dead instead?
Now, when we say new location, are we suggesting something that's been created separately or somewhere unused in the current map? Because I was talking to my brother about this, and he postulated it could be, in the centre of the town, there's that construction tower. There's that tower that's half constructed.
Finished.
Maybe something could happen there. Well, I'm just thinking about, remember when in the early days of GTA Online, the casino, well, what is now the casino, was like under development, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't really use it, and then suddenly it became the casino. So I wonder if that's going to happen with that. But then I thought maybe it could be something to do with North Yankton, in the single player game. The snowy bit at the beginning of the game, the single player game. I just wondered if maybe something there. But I don't know. But I can't think of anywhere else on the map where it might not have done anything.
Is there anything in the north that's like heist potential?
In the north?
In the north. In the desert.
Wasn't the it's sort of in the north, is that that science lab thing on the east coast. But don't think there's anything in the very top. I can't think of anything big where you could do a heist up there. Unless you're going to the military base or something. That would be quite an audacious heist.
Gotta steal some jets.
Or a secret deep underground bunker underneath Mount Chiliad or something, maybe.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
I said, do something with
Mount Chiliad. Like a James Bond lair underneath.
It'd be more Austin Powers, wouldn't it? For GTA, wouldn't it?
Laser.
I got my sharks with lasers.
Anyway, that was a Rockstar's update. Any other news?
I've got a little bit about the backwards compatibility. For Xbox and PlayStation. So Phil Spencer said on the 16th of July that Xbox Series X will have backwards compatibility with Xbox 360, and Xbox One games. So basically you'll be able to play 4 different platforms.
But is
on
that?
launch.
Hang on, but is that saying you could put all those discs in? And it
Not
won't-
all the discs.
So why is it digital? How's it work exactly?
So, well, they'll be able to have some discs. Do you know like you do now with the Xbox One? So you can play like Halo 2 on your Xbox One, for example, and it upscales it.
Yeah.
You'll be able to do that with your Series X. So you'll be able to do it including your Xbox One games. But it won't be compatible with any Kinect games. So unlucky if you're a Kinect fan there. But it will have backwards compatibility with games from those consoles. And it'll be expanded as the life cycle of the console goes on, as to get rights for the games and all that kind of stuff.
I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something controversial here, but backwards compatibility for me is not a big thing. For me, I know it seems to be a real thing for a lot of people, but for me, it doesn't really grasp. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like playing the old games, but I've got the old consoles. I can play them.
Yeah, but if you don't want to be messing around plugging in a new console, and if you want to play the game, I mean, it's a lot.
Maybe I don't
easier.
understand. Maybe I don't understand why people would want to keep going back and playing them all the time. I want to play the new things because games are getting bigger and bigger, right? So all these new games are like massive. It's not really a thing for me to keep going back to these older games. But anyway, that's just me.
Every generation's got the games that I like, the games that I do like. So I do like to go back every now and again. Like, for example, I'll go back and play Tekken 2 on the PlayStation.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is that is not a thing. That is not a thing that would distinguish me between Xbox and PlayStation. It's not a selling point to me. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's a selling point to some people, isn't it? Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it.
It's also not a selling point because the Xbox One is the only Xbox I've ever owned. So there's no.
I mean, for you personally, there's nothing there for you.
Exactly.
So you won't have any Xbox games, Xbox 360 games that you want to go back and play.
Exactly. Yeah.
But people that have been with that console, well, with Microsoft since the beginning, they'll have a backlog of games that they might want to play.
Yeah.
But they might not have the hardware anymore. For example, if they've gone and put all the games in the attic, but they just wanted
the ring of death.
Yeah, they could have had the red ring of death.
I actually thought if Xbox One was the first Xbox that you've ever owned, backwards compatibility would be something you would actually look forward to more, because then you could go back and play the previous generation games that were massive for Xbox that you missed out on. Stuff like, like the Fable games. You could go back and play those, the previous Halos, even though they've came out on, the Master Chief Collection. But
I think this game is getting ever so much expansive now, and things are getting so much bigger. It's just like the very thought of going backwards to really much now. It's just not really an option. I just don't think I ever would.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's there. So I mean, if people who do want to do it, it's there for them. And
yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess options is good. You can't argue with that. But I'm only speaking personally, really.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a contrast to what PlayStation's doing. So nearly all of the top 100 PS4 games, as ranked by playtime, they'll be available to play on the Xbox 5, the PlayStation 5 from day one. So you'll be able to play all like the main PS4 games. So you'll have a bit of a backlog of games there. If you did,
I think just the previous generation, I could deal with that, because obviously it's that crossover period, isn't it? So because obviously a lot of good games have come out recently over the past year or so.
Yeah.
And if you're going to buy the next generation, you want to play them on it. It's fine, I get that. But I'm talking about like before this generation. It's just doesn't pull me in. But yeah.
Yeah, in regards to the PS5, the official PlayStation blog said that backwards compatible titles will run at a boosted frequency on the PS5. So they'll benefit from higher and more stable frame rates and potential higher resolution. So that'll be nice. So you'll be able to play some of maybe Spider-Man will look a bit nicer. I mean, it's a nice game in its own right. what else? Horizon Zero Dawn, because games like that will just look even better than they do now. So, but yeah, I for one, I like backwards compatibility. I've got the consoles anyway, but to be honest, it is a bit of a faff having to get your Xbox out every time you want to play Halo, for example, or Crazy Taxi 3.
You mean you don't have them all laid out, ready to play? Oh, you disappointed, Nathan.
I can only get 8 plugged in at once to my
8?
television. Yeah, so it's a bit
Only.
of a
Only
yeah.
8.
I can get like 3.
Because I've got like switches and everything, so I can that's my maximum. So sometimes I have to put a SCART lead in, which is annoying. But
I just think of the electricity bill as well.
Oh, it turned
all 8 running at once.
The plug, yeah, it's just like in the background, just sets on fire. It's a good job I've not got all the consoles I've got displayed set up at the same time. Otherwise, I've been a bit of bother.
Oh.
How many have I got now? Something like 26, just laid out, waiting to be plugged in. Crazy. Anyway, so yeah, I welcome that. That's good. Another thing in regards to Xbox is they've taken the 12-month gold membership off of the Xbox Marketplace. So there's talk of them basically opening up online gameplay, multiplayer to everybody, and then just pushing the Game Pass as its own separate thing just for the games. Now, that for me, that would make me play more Xbox games, because a hurdle I've got at present is I pay for my PlayStation Plus. I can play games with you guys, but I've not got Xbox Live Gold at the minute. And it stops me from buying some games on the Xbox, and it stops me from playing them on Xbox, because I've got the entry point now. I need to pay 40 quid to get the best deal. I need to pay 40 quid to be able to play those online and get the most out of them. But if they did open it up for free, I think that'd be a fantastic move. And it'd get me playing more Xbox games. And it'd stop your Xbox from gathering dust, Mark. Maybe. Because I'd like to play Sea of Thieves with you. I think that'd be great if we all played that. That'd be fun. Taking ships down.
I can do that on PC, so I'd probably jump on there.
Why is it crossplay?
If you, it was one of the Xbox. What do they call it? If you own it on Xbox, you also own it on a PC, basically. Because it's a first party title.
Right.
So I could do it on PC. And then probably get shot by pirates anyway.
I don't really know what to think of these Sea of Thieves anyway.
I really liked it when it first came out. There wasn't a lot to it, but like there was a certain charm to it. It's really well made.
It's basically Xbox's No Man's Sky when it launched. Don't believe the hype, basically. But obviously, No Man's Sky's improved now, so I'm guessing Sea of Thieves has improved over time.
Oh yeah, so much has been added to it. There's a lot now, so it'd be fun.
But like you, Nathan, I don't own gold membership anymore, so I can't play online anyway.
Yeah,
at the time, so that's out of the question. But that does sound interesting. What you're saying, if that does happen for the next generation, that could be a selling point to me. Because without question now, if you're asking me to get Xbox or PlayStation, it's PlayStation every time.
Yeah.
If they keep doing things like this, maybe this will encourage me to at least get an Xbox as well. But I think the thing is they're going to have to improve the games.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's all right having the most powerful hardware, but you've got to have games to take advantage of it. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything.
And I have to say, based on that Xbox presentation, there was no real standouts to me. I mean, Halo, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I don't think anything really stood out to me that made me say, right, I've desperately got to get an Xbox.
Well, was that Tell Me Why Xbox exclusive?
I don't know. I think so. But that still wouldn't be a thing that makes me.
It's not a console seller. I mean, if you're paying 500 quid, you're going to want at least 5 to 10 games, maybe, that you're going to really want to play.
If it if it comes to the launch series and there's only, say, Halo, then I would be tempted just to get that for coming Xbox.
Well, it is coming out for Xbox One, isn't it? So
yeah, if nothing else screams out to me by that point, then I might just get it on. Just take that graphical hit or resolution hit or whatever, and just play it on current gen.
I think this is something that's like it's starting to worry me a little bit at the moment. That like we're getting pretty close to launch, and we still don't know exactly the dates that they're coming out on. We don't know the prices yet. That's been a real sticking point for Sony and Microsoft. That like neither of them want to come out and say what their price is.
Yeah. Nobody wants to show their hand first, do they?
Yeah,
that's what it is.
And we can only speculate on what the launch titles is. Like,
what we should do is you both just agree and say, like, at this precise date and time, we're going to release exactly what we're doing, and then we're sticking to it. That's what they should do.
Yeah, it should be like Phil Spencer and I don't know who the representative for Sony is now. I think it's
Is it a helmet guy?
Yeah, it was the one who was the head of Gorilla,
remember.
wasn't it? And he got moved up.
Yeah.
They should just come out at both the same time. Like, right, we're just going to say that this is what we've got for our team. You know, now you guys
just both write it all down on a piece of paper, put them face down, and then at the same time we just turn them over. And there we go.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
Should play like a guessing game, just like, right, how much is the Xbox? It's this. No. How much is PlayStation?
The thing is, we are creeping towards that holiday time, and obviously people are going to have to start thinking about, like, people are going to be wanting to get these like Christmas presents.
Yeah, I mean
that's it. Like,
so you've got to prepare for it.
But
it's all things like, well, surely everyone's going to like have to start saving money up for these things now because they're not going to be cheap.
I mean, I've got a console fund, and I've put away what I think both consoles are going to be. But if
my estimate is going to be around 600, I think. But remember, that's just going to be just for the console.
Yeah, not with any games. I've put 500 each.
That's the thing.
But nobody knows. So
yeah, we could be talking, if you want to get like a decent amount of games and the console, we could be talking towards $1,000. In all seriousness,
just for one.
If you've not even got like a 4K TV yet, you gotta think of that.
Yeah, if you want to take full advantage of it.
Take a full, yeah.
You'll need a decent one, a decent frame rate, refresh rate.
And then obviously there's things like as you say, PS Plus, Gold membership, that kind of thing. So that's more.
Another 40
money.
quid.
Yeah.
There you go.
So 50 quid.
Is it?
Well, it went up to 50, I think, but I'm sure you could find places where it's.
To be honest, cheaper. I normally just go on CD keys and I pay about 30 quid a year for my gold. So. My gold, PS Plus.
My
what
gold.
What I'm talking about.
All right. Have we got any other news? I've got like one more on my side.
I'm out of news now.
Yeah, out of news.
Done.
Right.
I'm like Ian Beale. I've got nothing left.
Right. Piece of news that caught my interest outside of Xbox and Nintendo was that Psyonix have announced that Rocket League will be going free to play later this summer.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing this.
Probably the interesting news to actually take out of that is that when it will go free to play, it will then go exclusive onto the Epic Play Store. Not Epic Play Store, the Epic Store. And you won't be able to download it from Steam.
Oh.
Which seems a bit controversial considering that, like, I think Steam's done a lot for Rocket League. I think Steam and going free to play when it came out, not free to play, free to buy on PSN Plus for that month, got a lot of like attention. And I mean, it's a brilliant game. I still play Rocket League to this day. Like, I'll absolutely not stop playing this game. But for it to, I mean, I know last year got bought, the developer got bought by Epic, but then to kind of announce this and like take it away from the platform that's been most popular on, seems a bit controversial, bit of a punch. But
if they bought it, it's no surprise though, is it?
It's no surprise. I mean, Epic are like, yeah, we're going to take over this PC PC market. We want everything basically. Like,
Do you think there'll be a drop in number of players?
I don't know, because it's going free to play, so immediately I would see a bump in players on all platforms. I mean, this would make me think about actually getting it for Switch. And I mean, not only that, it's going to do cross-platform progression as well. So like your ranks, your inventory, the progress that you've made will be shared out on all platforms, which sounds a bit. So that's good as well. But yeah, just a bit of a harsh one on Steam, just to take it away from them. I mean, if you've already got it on Steam, you keep it. But for new people, once it goes free to play, you've got to get on Epic. So, but yeah, I'm all out of news. So should we move on to a question?
No.
No. Well, we can do the
move on
question.
to-
We can do the question. It's fine.
You want to do a
You
question?
want? It doesn't matter, does it?
I did it in that order. I do apologize if it's not.
We'll do the question. It doesn't matter. So, all right. Question for you, Nathan. What is the best weapon in video games?
Pow pow. Right. So when I first thought about this, I thought about potentially one of the most powerful weapons, and I thought, oh, it's got to be the Hammer of Dawn from Gears of War. Basically, it's a weapon that controls a satellite, and you guide that satellite to a certain location, and it fires a beam down and just absolutely decimates anything in its path. That was my initial thought. But then I thought, right, what's the funnest weapon in gaming? And the one that I thought was the dubstep gun from Saints Row 4. Basically, you fire it, dubstep comes out, people start dancing, cars start bouncing up and down, and yeah, it's just insane. I mean, it's the most 2012 thing you've ever seen. It's just so fun and incredible. Like Saints Row's insane in its own right, flying around, punching things, and it's just incredible. But yeah, the dubstep gun from Saints Row 4. I can't say anything else. It's just a gun that shoots dubstep and people dance. So they can't hurt you if they're dancing. Well, there's capoeira, so they can probably kick you in the face. But yeah, that's me. What about you, Mark?
Well, mine's actually one that I mentioned not so well in the early days of the pod, and it's the Leviathan axe from God of War.
Wow.
It's just a cool weapon. Just as I mentioned in that pod, I just really liked the whole reclaim thing, which was really responsive.
You just felt like Thor, didn't you? Just when you were pulling it back.
So I just used to stand there and just throw it miles away, and then just recall it. As I said, I just thrown it into the lake, just watching it sink and then just recalling it. It was so instantaneous, really fun. Plus, you could just upgrade it to be like a proper beast of a thing, and all these upgrades. But I also read on that I couldn't do it because it's so difficult to do. But there's like an Easter egg in the game where you can put in like runic stones into it, so which adds powers to it. There's like a Infinity War Easter egg where you can get a certain amount of like coloured stones that equate to similar things in terms of what's in Infinity War, and you can put them on into it, and you have your own Infinity Gauntlet kind of thing. But it's so difficult to do that I started doing it, but then I thought like, man, I can't do this. I can't even get one of them. But yeah,
playing Skim now.
I just think it's such a cool weapon. It's just I can't
great.
think of,
just throwing it and decimating things.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else that I've enjoyed more playing with in terms of a weapon. Plus, it's just a great game as well. So suits perfectly. What about you, Matt?
So when I first thought this, like the first gun that came into my mind was the gravity gun from Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
Just for a weapon that was made at its time. There was 2002 that Half-Life 2 came out. It's been a long time. There was no weapon like it at that time. Just being able to just grab objects and just fly them into the faces of enemies, which was fun. But that's actually not my pick, because that's normally like the first thing people normally think of. My pick, just for pure fun and absolute endless amount of enjoyment that I got using this gun, is the portal gun from Portal.
Yeah.
I would absolutely want one of those in real life. Just be able to throw a pole in my own home and just throw a pole elsewhere and just walk through. It'd be cool just having one at work. Just be able to just
Walk through
5
it and then you're
seconds
at
going,
home.
just like, hi.
Yeah.
I'm ready
No
for
no
work.
more of that commuting. Yeah.
No, I commute and stuff. Yeah, and then just be able to once you clock out, just go back home in 5 seconds. That's it.
Well, hang on. You'd have to keep a portal at home, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, because you could accidentally close it, couldn't you? If you find the wrong one, then you could be stuck.
Oh yeah, could be ending.
Yeah.
Well,
You'd have
that's
to
what buses are for.
You'd have to keep it open. All
Yeah,
the
that's
time.
what buses are for, just in case. Or if someone plays a trick on me, just like walk in, I've just walked into like someone on the bog or something. Oh, you won't even walk in, you'll be able to see it on the wall.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
at
it.
least someone in the office could just walk into your house. You wouldn't want that, would you?
Be right. I've Nathan over.
See, you got to trust.
That's it. It's a trust thing. I wouldn't give it Gareth. Gareth would do some things with it. Yeah, Polgan. I trust.
I'd argue it's not a weapon, though.
It's a gun, though.
Do you
Technically,
really use...
is gun a weapon?
I mean, technically, if you could potentially use that to open a portal underneath somebody to suck him in.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Those are little robot thingies, like fire lasers.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be great for my room right now. It's all white walls, so perfect for me.
Right,
cool.
so what have we been playing? Nathan, go on. What have you been playing?
Me? Right.
Have you been playing all the games again?
Not
Yep.
all the games, just some of the games. Right, so what I'll do, I want to show you what I bought first.
Okay.
Nice little show and tell.
Oh,
So,
change.
back on the Tekken hype, I bought Tekken 2 a couple of weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and now I've gone back to where it all started. The original Tekken.
First second.
Yeah. So I bought that. Still waiting to play it. I played Tekken 2 after, but I've not played Tekken 1 just yet, but I'll get there in next week or so. And I bought this. This is the first game I want to talk about that I've actually played. It is Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled.
Ah.
Now, this was the remake that they did for Crash Team Racing that came out on the PS1. Now, to be honest, I don't know anybody that doesn't like Crash Team Racing.
I'm going to tell you right now, never played it.
But you don't
You didn't say you didn't
it.
like it, yeah.
No, I'm not saying I didn't like it, but I've just never played it.
Anyway, yeah, I've started playing this, and I'm really enjoying it so far. There's certain things you can do with it. So when you set your character up, you can pick from the normal roster, Neo Cortex, Crash, Coco, all the other characters. You can actually use the classic view, so you can see the characters if it was on the PlayStation 1, but in the car with all the new graphics. So that was pretty cool. So I've got classic Crash. He's the one that I'm racing with at the minute. And you can do like car upgrades and stuff. So it's expanded quite nicely on what we had in the original game. So yeah, that's been really fun to play. Of course, as with every week, we've played FIFA. Now I know we all had a game a few days ago. Well,
a game.
Yeah, games.
Just a game.
We narrowly missed out on getting promoted to Division 1. We got absolutely spanked in that last game, which was quite annoying because up until then, I think we'd been fairly consistent, bar a couple of mistakes, but it happens, doesn't it?
That's not consistent.
Well, up until the last game.
We were consistently consistent.
Consistently inconsistent, yeah.
Yeah, I've been I've been playing the Spyro Reignited trilogy. So I completed the first game in the original Spyro trilogy. So that was fun. Give Nasty Nork a good kick in. I didn't manage to collect all the treasure or get all the dragons, but I've got to still go back through it again and finish that. Don't shake your head at me, Matt. Mr. Completionist over there. We'll get to you later.
Yep. Yeah, you will.
And then bar that, I started playing Saints Row 4 again because I wanted to go and get the dubstep gun. Funnily enough, I tried to put Saints Row 4 into my Xbox One because I thought it's going to be backwards compatible. But no, it came up and said it wasn't compatible with my Xbox One. So I had to drag out the Xbox 360 and play it on there. But I'm so close to getting it now, so I think I might go and do that later. On to you, Matt. What have you been playing?
On to me. So at the start, I went back through the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy, trying to get all the gems on. Well, I had to try and finish Crash 3, Crash Bandicoot Warped. Got that mostly done. I think there's just a few gems that are missing on there. I didn't go back and do the second one, but I did do the first one. I went back and got all gems on the first one, including the. Oh no, I've not done the. They added in the cut leveling that was meant to be like known as like the hardest Crash Bandicoot level ever. I'd finally normally completed it after about 30 lives. It was ridiculous. It is very hard. I need to see if I can try and do a no death run to get the gem, which probably isn't going to happen. But after that, I got nostalgic for going back through the Spyro Reignite trilogy. I'd already done the first game, but I need to go through the others, which I've done. Got all the gems, got all the eggs, got all 3 platinum trophies on Spyro. So that game is completely done and dusted for me. After that, other than FIFA, as Nathan mentioned, I started to go back to Battlefield V or 5, depending on how you know it. Wanted to go back through the multiplayer, just kind of give it another go, because Battlefield for me, since Battlefield 4, the 2 that have come out haven't really clicked for me multiplayer wise. I don't know why. I don't know whether it's the setting, whether it's the weapons, maybe the maps just aren't as nicely made. I can't put my finger on why Battlefield stopped clicking for me. But I thought I'd give it another go, and even this time it's just I just can't get grips to it. I don't know why. It's a weird one, but kind of put Battlefield 5 away and went back to Call of Duty World War II and started playing some of that and just got addicted to that again. So I keep on going back to World War II. I've got like Modern Warfare, but I don't know. Nothing beats the war game mode for me on any COD. I feel like that's been like the best game mode that any COD has made, and I'm a bit disappointed that future ones haven't continued with it. But that's just me. What have you been playing, Mark?
Well, I've only played one game since we last spoke, and that's the big game over the past couple of weeks, and that is Ghost of Tsushima. Now, when I started playing this, I was a bit unsure about it. When I started playing it, because you know the whole concept of the wind thing, where that directs you towards things. That took a bit of getting used to for a bit.
Okay.
Because I was so because you're just so used to mini maps. It's like
you're so used to markers.
Yeah, so you're looking in the corner, and just like, oh, there's nothing there. Where am I supposed to be going?
Where's the map?
But once you've got the grasp of it, yeah, it's good. It makes complete sense. And there's another thing where when you're fighting, the camera can be a bit of a pain. There's moments where if there's an enemy behind you, like behind where the camera is, your character will face towards that way, but the camera won't go behind it. So basically, your character's just staring towards the camera as if like there's an enemy there. But it's like, no, I want the camera to go around the other side so I can see the person. Apart from those minor quibbles, I love this game. I think it's incredible. Wow. It's so much fun. It's one of the most fun games I've played in a long, long time. The combat in it is amazing. It feels so good. That the way you feel great in God of War with the Leviathan axe. You feel like that great with your katana sword in this. Wow. So there's all these like skill trees, and you can learn like master new moves and things like that. And you learn these new stances, and each stance can apply to a different sort of enemy type. So people who just have swords, people who have the shields, people with spears, and a different stance is like preferable to fight against them, and you can just switch like mid battle, like really quickly on the fly. It's really fluid, really good. I did have a slight technical issue at the start because I started the game up and it goes straight into a cutscene after the initial, where you pick your preferences. Because initially it was like, do you want subtitles? Do you want it in English? Do you want it, etc., etc. So initially I chose I'm not quite sure how this is going to go, so I'll just do English voices. So I started it, and it goes straight into like an opening cutscene. And basically, the opening cutscene is your guy Jin Sakai, he's called, and he's part of the samurai who was defending the island of Tsushima against the Mongol invasion. Let's just say that doesn't go very well, and then basically you've got to help banish the invaders. Now in this opening cutscene, they started talking, and I'm just like, oh, this doesn't seem right in the English dubbing. It's like this, so I quit the game. So nah, I can't play the rest of the game.
I'm just imagining like, all right, John, how's it going? You're going down to Tsushima.
So I quit the game. I quit the game in the hope that it would take me. So I closed the game, I reloaded it up in the hope that it would take me back to the opening menus. But it didn't. It just decided to load straight back to the cutscene again. So it just continued doing English stuff. I'm like, all right, okay. So I've to close this again. I had to delete my auto save that I just decided to make at the beginning of the cutscene. Deleted that, and then start the game again, so I could then change the subtitles. So now I'm playing it in Japanese voice, English subtitles. It is so much better.
I imagine it would be.
I think that might put a lot of people off if you're not. I don't know what you guys in your thoughts in terms of subtitles and games are.
I used to watch anime at college, subbed, so I'm pretty used to listening to Japanese voices with English subtitles.
But in also terms in games though, because obviously you've got to control at the same time. So if you can grasp that, that's great. But I find it so much better.
Give it a go.
I think it's a lot more immersive. But the whole, I really like the open world. I really like the aspect of the not using a minimap. I think that's such a inspired thing to do because it feels very uncluttered. You can properly get the full immersion of
it's real exploration rather than just knowing there's a shop or something just down.
And you never roam around wondering where things are. You can easily notice them, and you can just open a map and plot where you want to go, and then the wind will guide you. So you can choose. It's not just like there's no map. You have to wander around in the hope that you'll find something. But it's got the whole fog of war thing. So you've got encampments that you liberate, and there's as you see in the state of play thing, there was the foxes that you follow, and then you get shrines. And what I like is that the map is uncluttered as well, and that all the side missions feel like they're there for a reason. They all help you become a better samurai. Whereas things like Assassin's Creed, where it's just it's just a checklist, isn't it? It's just go do this thing, and then well done, you've done this thing. We won't give you anything for it, but well done for doing this thing. Whereas this, everything you earn technique points, and you can apply them to your skill trees, etc. And so it feels worthwhile. I have barely scratched the surface of the story because I've done so much of the side missions, and they've got these they're called like Tales of Tsushima, where it's just basically you're just helping people out around the island, like all the peasants and all that. So you're helping them like liberate their farms and helping their little trials and tribulations. But they've got ones called, I think they're called Mythic Tales. But they're like legendary stories that are told to you by a musician, and they always come with like some great reward, like some new piece of armor or a great weapon. So they're really worth doing before you carry on in the main story. So there's, I'm not sure, but I think it's separated into the 3 acts, and there's like each one takes place in a certain part of the island. So there's like 3 sections, I think. I've completely done the first one now. The whole area. I've liberated everything. I've done everything on that first part because I've just got so into just like making my guy the best he possibly can. I've leveled up his katana to the maximum. He's got the amazing suit of armor. I mean, my guy's not the Ghost of Tsushima. He's the badass of Tsushima. He's amazing. I just think it's such a brilliant game. I would highly encourage anyone to play it. It's so much fun. But yeah, as I say, I'm only on the 2nd act. I can't wait to keep playing it. Oh, but there's extra bits like shrines. So they feel a bit like Uncharted when you're climbing up things. There's a lot of sort of things like that. Oh, but one more thing. The standoffs are so cool. So basically what you do is you can just walk into any... If you see like a bunch of Mongol invaders, you can just walk towards them. Well, you can charge in and just start fighting them. But if you walk slowly towards them, you'll get the option to do a standoff.
Okay.
So basically what happens is that all you do is you just hold triangle and you just wait, and there's just this bloke standing there and you're waiting for him to make a move towards you. But sometimes he might like feign to try and hit you and try and make you make a mistake. And so as he goes to hit you, you've got to release triangle. And that's when you're swiping. And you can take him down in one swipe. And then you can do that. If you get a certain piece of armor, you can have that go up to 5 times. So you can take down 5 people in 5 strikes at one point.
Oh,
so it's like
so
one
cool.
down. But you got to keep timing each one. But when you do it, it's so satisfying that you can just you can take down a whole battalion in one go. If there's only that many people there.
Yeah.
It's so good. And the duels are great as well. So duels are like just the one-on-one battles. So you imagine like all those old samurai films where it's just like you're in like a circular area with all like autumn leaves blowing in the wind, and you're both just standing there staring at each other. It's like the enemy's got his hand perfectly balanced over his sword, and then your guy just goes pop. It's done so well. It's just I love old samurai films, like Seven Samurai. I think it's one of the greatest films ever made. And it just brings back all those memories and thoughts, and I just think it's brilliant. And I can't. Oh, one last thing. Photo mode. Photo
Uncle
mode.
from Jackie Chan.
This will be my last thing. Photo mode. That is the most in-depth photo mode I've ever seen in any game ever. It's really good. So you can so you can edit like just about every aspect of it. So you've got obviously your standard filters, things like that. But you can make it animated as well, and you can choose what particles float in the air. So you can have leaves, bamboo leaves, ash, anything really. So you can change like the speed of the things that come through it, how many there are. You can change just about every aspect of it, and you can obviously change like the gradient and things like that, and you can apply the samurai red filter, which I quite like. So if you follow us on Instagram, you will have seen that I posted one of Jin Sakai pointing the sword at the camera in the samurai red one. But yeah, that's amazing. Brilliant game. Loving it.
Nice.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Apart from that minor camera angle. That does annoy me. The camera angle in the fights occasionally. But apart from that,
Right, so
really
it's
good
9
game.
out of 10 then.
It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. And final. Honestly, this is final part. Honestly, I'm going to platinum this.
Right,
that
you've
was
heard
done.
it here
I'm
first,
done. That was
everyone.
obvious.
If he doesn't platinum it, do you know what?
Yeah,
I
we
can't
told
wait
him
for you
to.
to get
Because
to
it's one of those
the
achievable
black
platinum.
flag section and just not being able to do it.
No, I've read up before. I've read up before on how you can get the platinum, and it's doable.
Okay.
So I'm definitely doing it.
Oh, he's cheating. He's cheating.
No.
That's
That's
it.
it.
I only looked at the
I had to
easy.
go at Matt earlier for looking up the coins and stuff on Red Dead.
No. Anyway, let's move on. Because otherwise, I'll just find other things to talk about it.
Okay.
Right.
Good game.
Game good.
So, Video Game Hall of Fame time.
Let's do it.
Believe it is.
Okay, so now we move on to, as I say, the Video Game Hall of Fame is where we take an in-depth look at a video game of high quality or historical importance and induct it into our pantheon of games we feel deserve special recognition. So our inductee this episode was first released in arcades on October the 8th, 1992, and was subsequently released on the SNES, Game Gear, Game Boy, Genesis/Mega Drive, and Master System the following year. It was published by Acclaim Entertainment and developed by Midway. It's Mortal Kombat.
Finish
Get
it.
over here.
What's your earliest memories of Mortal Kombat? Because my earliest is seeing them in the arcade. Me and my brother used to go to an arcade in Chapel St. Leonard's.
Ooh.
We used to spend like most of our days in there. And I could go into the arcade and I can remember specifically where Mortal Kombat was located. I could walk specifically to that position. Because me and my brother used to watch a lot of people playing it. That's my first encounter with that game. I think it just really stood out in terms of its. I think because of its like graphical quality, it's like it went for that sort of photorealistic thing, didn't it? Where it was like digital sprites. There was like real actors, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And so I think it made it a bit more authentic than all the other arcade games that I could see around me. And then obviously there was the whole violence thing, isn't it? It's just blood and the gore.
Yeah.
But it really stood out to me. It's that I was far too young to be watching it there. But,
I was about to say, like, how old would you have been?
don't know.
92, you would have been
5, 6?
A bit older than that, I think. But
I think I was like
anyway,
2, so I want to remember.
that's my earliest memory anyway. But then I also got it on the Mega Drive. Now I was clearly too young for that one as well. So
I think a lot of people
cares?
was too
Who
young
cares?
to play Mortal Kombat
yeah,
when they first played it.
Yeah, I think this might have been particularly for I think our generation. I think this might have been their first foray into what was an adult game.
Oh yeah, I think so.
But
I mean,
what do you remember about Mortal Kombat?
when it got ported over to the SNES/Mega Drive or Genesis, they actually had to censor the blood, didn't they? So it was sweat.
Yeah, sweat. Yeah, so they just changed the colour of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was due to when Nintendo first saw the arcade game. They didn't think it would meet their child-friendly policies. So basically, Midway changed it so the red would change to like a bluey clear, whatever it was.
Did they do it as a sweat, or was it not? Was it not like green blood? Did they change it so it was like everyone?
Sweat.
Was it sweat?
It's sweat, yeah.
It was
I could be thinking something else.
But they took the blood out of the Mega Drive one, but they had the code. So there was a code.
The blood code.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember what the blood code was?
I did look it up, but I forgot it now.
It's ABACABB. If anybody wants to put blood on the Mega Drive game.
Yeah. Get that bad boy back open.
And then after that, Scorpion will invite you to get over here. And then, the screen will then turn red, and then you'll get blood.
Yeah. So you had 7 characters, didn't you? Well, you had 7. I think you were limited on the game. Was it
Game Gear? It was very limited.
And the other one. What was the other one? Um,
Master System.
yeah, it might be in the Master System version, where I think you only had. Did they only have 6?
I think it was 6. Yeah.
I can't remember who they took
Couldn't
out.
get a 7th.
But anyway, the 7 characters initially were Liu Kang, which was like the standard martial artist, which I'm guessing was based on Bruce Lee. Sonya Blade. Yeah, Sonya Blade was like a special forces agent who was after Kano, who was a mercenary. Raiden was the God of Thunder. Johnny Cage, the Hollywood movie star. Then you had Sub-Zero and Scorpion, who were like ninja assassins, who were identical apart from their
moveset,
which seemed to be a staple throughout the Mortal Kombat series, wasn't it? It's just we'll have this same character with just a different color. Because then they also had
a few in there.
But this also had like the first secret character in like a fighting game, didn't it? Where they had Reptile. It was basically like them, but green.
Yeah. It wasn't really fleshed out until I think the later games where they actually.
I have no idea how you achieved. I don't know how you achieved. I have to say about Mortal Kombat, I wasn't very good at it. I liked it, but I was terrible at it.
I'm not good at it.
Saying that, I'm not very good at any beat 'em ups really. It's probably the ones I'm worst at, to be honest.
Fighting games.
But I think the things that obviously stood out about Mortal Kombat was the fatalities, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, they were just so brutal, and they've only got brutal as the games have gone on.
Oh god.
Yeah, like ripping somebody's spine out and stuff
yes,
like
just
that.
grabbing them by the head, and then you just see the spine dangling down and the blood flowing everywhere. Yeah. But there was like the freaky stuff of like there's that level where you're on like a bridge thing, aren't you? But then you
kick them off.
Kick them off and you just land a spike bit. It's just like
you hear like staged fatalities because there's one that's there's one where you find there like there's like an acid pool. It's like you can walk them into it and like you just see the like
skeleton
just going in like
They had a film as well, didn't they? I can remember watching the Mortal Kombat films.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's not a very good film. Let's just say that. No. It had great music though.
Yeah. The Mortal Kombat theme tune is absolutely top tier. Yeah. Love that. But yeah, I've got a favourite character. Favorite character is Raiden.
Raiden.
Love him. Honestly, just the lightning. It can in the newer games it can like turn into lightning and like go behind you and then like just use his lightning against you and stuff. I don't know why I went all Palpatine there.
Lightning, yeah.
But oh, he's just so amazing with his hat as well. Just like the coolest guy ever.
His straw hat.
Now I remember it. They had a cartoon as well. Actually. Oh, can you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my man Raiden. Anyway, yeah, I remember the cartoon. Does anybody remember watching the Mortal Kombat cartoon on Fox Kids?
Okay. Let's wind back here. There was a cartoon.
Yeah,
I vaguely remember it, but no.
Okay, considering the whole controversy around the game, that really surprises me.
Cartoon.
That they would have a cartoon of it. How did that one get past?
I don't know. I've just remembered it now.
I bet it was lame.
Now and again.
But there was no real battles in it. Did they do the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles thing? Where they changed the name?
Right, let me check this out. You two tell me your favourite character.
I always played as Liu Kang, but that's because I'm a massive fan of Bruce Lee. So that was the obvious choice for me.
Ooh, favourite? I know Mortal Kombat's one of those that's like I'd try most characters just to see if I could get on. Like if I probably don't have a favourite character, but a character that I probably played the most as probably was Liu Kang. Just because I loved spamming the bicycle kicks. I could get him spammed like quite easy.
Right.
I just love the noise he'd make as well. What was it? I can't remember. It was something like that where it was like something like that when he was doing it.
Like Zoidberg.
Yeah.
Right, I found the cartoon. So it's called Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm. There was only one season, and it's got a out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh, not too bad then.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to watch a really crap cartoon from 1996, have at it.
So this game actually, I think was this the one that introduced juggling? So where you can smack an opponent in the air and they just keep hitting them.
Oh,
I think this might be the game that introduced that.
quite possibly. It might have been.
So basically, spamming. That's what it was.
Yeah. Well,
It's in the end,
about,
it's not good. But
yeah, it's about doing like combos and being able to keep the opponent essentially in the air.
defenseless. Yeah.
Defenseless, yeah. Ooh, probably. I don't think Street Fighter 2 ever did that.
Back to my when I used to sit in the arcades.
Yeah.
Do you remember the character of Goro?
Is that the one with the 4 arms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He scared the bejesus out of me when I saw him in
He was
arcades.
a pretty scary character.
I think what made it even scarier is that you know how I said these are like real sprites and real people.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I saw him go, I'm like, is that actually a real person? Did they
A
really?
real person with 4
A real
arms.
person, like, oh, well,
How have they captured this?
It was really freaky. Oh,
There was,
I think the only other character that freaked me out after that was it wasn't in first Mortal Kombat, was Baraka.
Oh,
He
yeah.
freaked me out. His big
The
metal teeth.
Wolverine-esque kind of.
Yeah, big metal teeth and his like big sword things that came out of his arms.
Well,
Oh,
it
you
was
were freaky.
Bond, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. I
It's
can't
all
quite
Bond.
remember, but that was freaky.
Mm.
But yeah, Goro. Yeah, didn't like Goro.
one thing I do want to mention with the fatalities, actually, when you play one of the newer games, it's become a bit like Sniper Elite. Do you know where you can see like the body parts of where you've shot?
Yeah, yeah, like X-ray.
Oh, do you mean like
Yeah.
the X-ray moves that they've got?
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
you'll do. It's almost like a signature. It's almost like fatalities, but like it's not really a fatality. Where like you do signature stuff with the character, and you'll see how that affects
The
the other
internal
character
organs.
in like
There's certain
internal
organs that feel pain more than others.
Or it's like, you see the jaw breaking, and you'd be like, you'd think that would just end the match there, but it's, how can someone carry on with the eye being pierced?
Yeah, that's it. There's one where like they get 2 knives to the eyes, and it's like, how is this going to continue?
Yeah.
Go all John Cena. You can't see me. In the original game, in fact, I wasn't very good at the fatalities. So when it's like it came with finish him, I just like do a little kick or a punch and they just fall over.
It's like you mash it like left, back, lamb, and then you press the button, and then suddenly just go a little jab.
Yeah, just like a little slap.
And then your character would celebrate like he did the best thing in the world.
Yeah,
it's like, oh no.
I do remember my first fatality, which I did by accident, because I just remember just spamming buttons and like
You
suddenly
never did it
it.
ever again.
I was like, what is this? How did I do that?
I used to see some really skilled people in arcade though. It's just like, where did you learn to do these things?
Yeah,
it's like I used to be like fascinated with watching people in arcades because as I say, I weren't very good at beat 'em ups, so I'd always watch people playing them because I always thought Mortal Kombat was a great game, but I just weren't very good at it. So, but it was just fascinating watching people just be able to easily pull off all these moves and like having like flawless victories. I was like, how on earth do you do this?
Where did they get all the 20p's from?
Yeah. I mean, I used to waste so much money in arcade. It's just like, and I never got anywhere on any games. But I think that was the idea behind arcade games, wasn't it?
Well, that's it. Yeah, just take all your money.
Yeah.
And the only games I was able to play in the arcade was Time Crisis. But that's just gonna spend way too much time on Time Crisis. I dedicated a lot of pound coins to that game.
Hey, didn't we complete the Ninja Turtles game when we went to the National Video Game Museum?
We did.
I think it took us about 200 credits, but we got there.
Yeah, we got there in the end.
I think we cheated, but yeah.
See, throughout my entire youth, I never managed to complete that. But it's just like that's the only opportunity I would ever get to complete any arcade game ever.
Yeah,
because you'd have to pay for it. But yeah. Also about the individual game. Do you remember the test your might?
Yeah.
Oh, was that the like tower?
So it's basically like after every 3 fights, I think it was after every 3 fights, you had like a bit where you had to like mash the buttons to power up, and you had to chop through something.
right.
So it started off.
So that was their own take on like Street Fighter's bonus stages, weren't they?
Yeah,
Where you had like you could beat up the car, or you beat up the barrels and stuff. Ah,
yeah. So
didn't realize that.
So I think it was like, so basically, as you went up, you had like a different material that you had to break through. So it was like wood, stone, ruby, diamond, etc. And it just got progressively harder. Where you just like proper on the buttons, and then
I'd probably end up straining my
you
wrist.
just break your hands. Yeah.
Mm.
I really liked the theme tune on the Mega Drive version as well.
Yeah, I like the theme tune. The theme tune. The theme tune, regardless of what console it's on, I just think it's a really nice melody and it matches the game
really
so
catchy.
well. Yeah,
It's really catchy. Oh, I really liked that. You know that thing that came up at the intro. They're saying that there's a code on it. I can't remember what it precisely says now, but it says something about code, doesn't it? Oh, what is it now? There's a code of honor in Mortal. Oh, I can't. I don't know. I don't even know why I bothered saying this. I'd have to read
we
it.
can cut it out.
That's fine. But yeah, that's such a good game. Still enjoy playing it now, but not very good at it. Even on very easy, I still find it actually quite difficult. But I just wish I knew how to do the fatalities. Do you remember later on they introduced the babalities?
Babalities, yeah, when they turn into kids.
Yeah.
That were always funny.
There's friendships as well, wasn't there?
Oh, friendships hilarious.
Like pull out a gift.
Which was there? Which one was it that had like the animal ones, where like your character would turn into an animal and do like a fatality? Was it like animalities or something like that?
Yeah, I think that's what it was called. Yeah.
Because it was like I think I remember one because like Liu Kang turns into the Mortal Kombat dragon and like eats the person or burns them to alive, and I think there was one. I think there was one that was like turned into a bear. I recall, I think, and like gives you a bear hug and then just like absolutely squeezes you to death, basically. I think I recall that. I could be completely wrong, but my memory of Mortal Kombat isn't as good as you guys.
I say that the Mortal Kombat logo, I think, is one of my favorites in video games. I really like that
dragon.
logo.
Oh, it's brilliant. I liked the one in there was like a reveal trailer. I think it was for X. I think Mortal Kombat X, or maybe is that the latest one? Where it's like
11.
Is it 11? It could be 11. It's either X or 11. Where it was in stone, but like there was rain on it as well, so it made it look really like very dramatic and stuff. It was quite cool.
Cool.
Maybe that could be a question for a later podcast about best
favorite game
logos. Yeah.
Well,
we already know Mark's.
Well, I don't know whether I consider it the best, but it's up there for me. I really like it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
I'd like to get that on a T-shirt. I think that look pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
So anyway, there we have Mortal Kombat into our video game Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Our first
top
beat 'em
game.
Our first beat 'em up.
First fighter.
And went on to spawn a lot of games.
Yeah.
Some good, some bad.
Some ugly. I mean, I think there was a lot of things mentioned about the first 3D one, wasn't there?
Oh god.
I think a lot of people weren't keen on that one. I've seen footage of that, and that did not look good.
A lot of beam-ups that came from the 2D era, like their first 3D ones, probably weren't good. I can remember Street Fighter.
I think people were just trying to get used to the whole 3D aspect, wasn't it? I mean, it's
I'd say in the 90s it was just so crude.
The thing is, Mortal Kombat actually it still looks good. It still looks decent. I mean, I know it looks compared to now, it looks completely pants.
Yeah,
but it plays well. It plays well. It's very smooth.
Yeah.
Well, the Mega Drive version is anyway.
But that's one thing about older games. The graphics might not have been there, but the gameplay was generally always pretty tight because it needed to be.
Yeah.
So there you go. So I think we'll call it there. I think we've rambled on for far enough. So If you enjoyed listening to us, please consider tuning in next time. We release bi-weekly. You can visit our website at jokingdolphin.com, where we post blogs. We have the Hall of Fame, and you can also get involved via our forum to continue the conversation. Also, feel free to follow us on all social media platforms. You can find Joking Dolphin on Facebook, as well as on Instagram and Twitter at Joking Dolphin. Until next time, thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.